Hello guys, so I welcome you to the first lecture of Introduction to C++. Okay, so in the first lecture, we are going to learn about Hello World program. Okay, uh, we're going to learn about the Hello World program. Okay, this is slide. So before learning Hello World program, uh, let me tell you something. So for the programming purposes, you need to install a text editor. Okay, I'll recommend using Visual Studio Code, okay, because it is very simple to use and you know you guys can customize it easily. You can use Sublime as well, okay, but Sublime is most particularly for the use of you know for problem solving and on. But Visual Studio Code is best for the beginners, okay. And I'll recommend you to download a compiler as well, okay, so that you can you know uh, start writing C++ programs. Okay, so compiler, you can download MinGW and all. Okay, MinGW it is. So you can download this compiler. Okay, and you can start with you can configure it. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials. Okay, on how to download these things. Okay, so you can uh, you know you can look for how to download these things and yeah, that's all for that's all the prerequisite that you need to do before you start writing your C++ programs. So now once you have done that, in Visual Studio Code only, okay, in Visual Studio Code, there's a extension section. Okay, you can download Code Runner. Okay, Code Runner extension. You can look for some video on YouTube how to download Code Runner and all. Once you are done with these things, you can start with how to write C++ program. So our first program, so in this lecture we will get introduced to the C++ programs. Okay, so we'll write a hello world program. Okay, so now before writing the program, I must tell you this. Okay, so whenever you start programming, okay, you need to know that every C++ program, for every C++ program you'll create a file. Okay, the name could be anything. Okay, you need to make sure that there is no gap in between the characters of the name, and it ends with .cpp. Okay, so if you create any file, let's say I create one .cpp, so it will be a C++ file. Okay, you need to make sure that there is no space like a BC. There shouldn't be any space. Okay, .cpp. So this is a wrong naming convention. So you do not need to, you can use underscore here, okay, in between, but you should not leave any space in between while naming only the name of the file. Okay. So yeah, that was all for for what you need to know. Now let's move on to Visual Studio Code only. I've already downloaded that. So okay, let's start writing program. Okay, so first one is hello world. Okay, hello world.cpp. So I've named this file as hello world. Okay, and then I've ended it with .cpp, which implies that it is a C++ program. Okay, so .cpp is an extension for C++ programs. Now we need to know like some things in a C++ program. Okay, so yeah, let me write the program first. Okay, okay, yeah. So okay, so now I've written this program. So there are two ways to execute this program. Okay, so I told you that you need to download the Code Runner extension. So I've already downloaded that. So this is the Code Runner extension. Okay, you'll get this icon once you download the Code Runner extension, and you can download it from here. Okay, here you'll search for like Code Runner. This is the Code Runner extension. Okay, you can see this. Okay, you'll search here, okay, while you're connected to internet, and you can download this code runner extension, and then you'll get this kind of icon over here, which helps to run the code easily. Okay, so now let's move on to the code. Let's run this code. Okay, so if we run this code, we get an output hello world. Okay, let me zoom it. So let's run the program again. Okay, wait. So yeah, so we get the output as hello world. Okay, so how we are getting this output? So we need to know about what are these things like IOStream and using namespace std and all of these things, this int main and this brackets and all of these things. So let me take you to the screen again. Okay, so okay, so let's go to the next page. So yeah, so our first C++ plus program looks like this, as include IOStream. Okay, so this is a file. This is a uh, this is a library which consists of input output. IOStream stands for input output stream. Okay, input output stream. So it helps in taking input and printing something on the screen. Okay, like using the IO functions, input output functions. I'll tell you about those things. Okay, like input output streams, not particularly functions. Input output stream. Okay, it helps in the IO only. Let's keep it that way only. So the second line is using namespace std. Okay, so I recommend you writing this, because what happens is when you do not write this part, okay, when you exclude this part, you'll have to you'll have to write this way. Okay, you'll have to write the statements this way, std cout, and then you'll have to write hello world here. Okay, hello world, and then you'll have to again write std and then double columns and then endl. Okay, so before every you'll have to include this std part. Okay, so to exclude this std part from the start and from the end as well, we include this using namespace std, and there is nothing else so important about it. Okay, so yeah, this is recommended. Then what we have written is int main, and we have you know inside this we have written hello world. Okay, hello world. Okay, and yeah, so yeah, this is the next part of the program. So this is a function. Okay, this is a function, and this is the scope of the function, from this curly bracket to this curly bracket. Okay, within this scope of the function we have written a statement. What is the statement? Cout hello world. So cout is used basically for printing something. Okay, so if we have written cout, and then we have this double quotes, inside these double quotes we have written something. So this is within the double quotes, everything is considered as a string. Okay, so this particularly, these characters and the space in between is considered as one single string. Okay, and it gets printed on the screen therefore. Okay, so hello world gets printed on the screen. Okay, and finally this function returns 0. Return 0 means that the execution is successful. Okay, because it is a integer function, right? So it has to return something integer only. uh, yeah, so that's what it does. Okay, So this was all about the first C++ program. Okay, I'll keep this course a little brief. Okay, so that important things uh, are taught by taking more time, and less important things do not take much time. Okay, so we'll go through the less important things by giving them less importance. Okay, not taking much time for a non-important thing. Yeah, so that's what uh, we saw. Okay, so let's go to the Visual Studio Code again. Okay, so this was all about the first C++ program. Now there is one more way to execute a C++ program. Okay, so the another way to execute a C++ program is that uh, we run the code right through code runner and we get the output. Now through the terminal also we have a way to execute the C++ program. So what we'll do, we'll write G++, not capital actually, okay, G++. Then we'll write the name of the file. So the file name is hello world, right? In my case, so I'll write hello world, okay, and the cases should be same, okay. uh, hello world dot cpp. So this is the file. Now press enter. Okay, so an executable, in my case executable has already been created. Let's delete it and let's again do this thing. Okay, so g++ hello world dot cpp. Okay, so press enter. Now an executable has been created, a.exe. Okay, so now to run this executable we have to give the command uh, dot slash. Okay, now the name of the executable, so executable file has the name a.exe, so we'll write a.exe. Now when we press enter, we get hello world on the screen, right? So this is how we run a C++ program in case you haven't installed this, this extension. Okay, code runner. Yeah, so that's all for this lecture. Let's meet in the next lecture. Okay.